Hello, my dearest INFJ entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another episode. This one is audio only. I'm currently sitting on the couch and it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon on a Monday. And there's something I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to visibility, especially being seen in your business, online, offline, just being seen in your business. Okay? And I'm running a workshop on how the INFJ can overcome the fear of being seen this upcoming Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to come in, it's a free workshop. We are going to be talking about why do we fear being seen and how can we shift our focus so that we can show up much more freely and talk about our stuff much more freely. If this is something you would want to do, come to that workshop, come to that masterclass, and I can't wait to see you there. Now, last night, I thought to myself, this is a really interesting topic for many, many INFJs out there, especially because visibility is something that I feel like an INFJ, being introverted and being more intuitive, the way we see how things should be, like all the narcissistic ways people show up online, look at me type of being loud, I think that is inherently gross and it's inherently misaligned to an INFJ like you and I. That is why we think that, okay, if I show up, that's how I need to look like. I need to be loud. I need to be in your face. I need to be salesy. And on top of that, we aren't sure whether people are going to misunderstand us, judge us, hate us, leave bad comments. I think that is why it's very scary to really show up and talk about what it is that you are building towards, what it is that you are helping people with, right? So interestingly, I thought to myself, I'm going to really sit down and post about this in the INFJ community, in the big INFJ community. And if you are on Facebook, it's like there's 100K people in this community. And to be honest with you, it's a bit of a wild west there. There are non-INFJs there. There are victimized INFJs there. There are just all kinds of weird people. And I remember just posting before when I was doing workshops around getting over your fears as an INFJ or talking about our community to see if there are people who would be interested in joining us. And maybe some of you are listening here came from those groups. You saw this post that resonated with you when you joined our community and you came to a call or you've seen a video or an interview and you found it helpful. That's why you were listening to this one. And I thought to myself, okay, let me just really sit down and craft something from my heart and also that describes this issue that I know so well around fear of visibility and fear of being seen, so that the right people can find their way in. And the way I wrote this post, I intentionally made it long so that actual brain cells, like people with brain cells, read it all the way. And only if they read it all the way, I put hey, just comment below link and I'm happy to send you the link so you can join the masterclass. And you guys, I had 2 people commenting before the whole thing got shut down. I woke up essentially being banned from the group. I can no longer see the group. I can no longer post inside of the group. I completely got banned from the group and I can never go back. Now, listen, I think if this was me 4 years ago or 3 years ago, this would have hit me. I would have felt rejected. In fact, I remember there were times where I was still in the genesis of my visibility, trying to show myself online and getting over my fear around it. And if I get a bad comment from someone, it would make me just not want to do anything. In fact, I remember having conversations with other INFJs around it where they were on YouTube or they were putting some stuff out there and they were just, people mad at them, angry emails, the whole thing, and that really made them kind of stop creating or pull back or stop expressing. And that breaks my heart because here's the thing, you guys. And I want you to perhaps take something from this episode as you're listening And that is the fact that when we express, when we start being visible, when we start advocating for what we have, what we are building, what we are creating, how we help people, inherently there will be people who won't like it. There will be people who will be triggered by you putting yourself out there. There will be people who misunderstand your intentions and project onto you. There will be people who will hate you. And unfortunately, when we are just getting familiar and we are just having our training wheels on when it comes to visibility, that can make a lot of us kind of stop because we're like, okay, this is not safe here. This is not safe here. You see that person commented. You see that person mocked me. You see that person misunderstood me. And if I was my, again, old version, baby version from 4 years ago, I would say, I would think the same way. It's not safe for me to be seen. It's not safe for me to express. You see, people are banning me, the Facebook group. My own kind, you guys, banned me out of the Facebook group. And if you guys know me personally, you know how much I care about you guys and helping you guys and showing up for you guys. And even when I'm creating invitations, it's to create something that is serving you guys. To my core, that's how I've always been. And across the board, I always been showing up for people. But I mean, it happens, but people can misunderstand that intention. People can be bothered by it. People can be like, how dare you putting yourself out there and you promoting yourself. This is a different thing, right? Because you could argue, well, you shouldn't have promoted in the group. Well, I have done it before and no one cared. So I was like, okay, let me see if this gets to the right people. But I was intentional about not making it a quick something. I was intentional about the wording, how I'm going to frame this, like how I'm going to invite people so that again, you would need to read it through to come and to want to be part of this, right? So whenever we start expressing, we will experience pushback. We will experience tension. And the question is like, what do you do with that tension? And that will determine the rest of your life. And I'm going to tell you something that has helped me. And I'm not saying this is going to work right away, but this is part of it. And I want to invite you to this fear of visibility, fear of being seen, conversation we're doing this Wednesday. I really want to deepen it with you and have actually talk to you. I have some of you who already registered. I asked you, what is it that stops you? And I really want to work with those fears specifically for you, what has been the case for you. But what has helped me, you guys, is that the people who aren't okay with these mishaps, like things breaking or people commenting or people being mean, and let that stop them. These people, they're not holding a big enough context. Now, I didn't come up with this whole idea of a context, but the context is basically, if I'm thinking about and looking at my life as an ongoing journey, like let's assume this is a long timeline, from the point where I am right now to the point where I die, that's a massive context, right? If I'm looking at the next 50 years, if I'm lucky, I get to live that far. The minuscule things of someone banning me from a Facebook group or someone leaving me a bad comment, it's tiny compared to a lifetime of work, compared to the people I get to serve in this lifetime, right? So the bigger the context we hold, the more we can zoom out, the easier these mishaps, we can just be like, okay, it's a bump in the road, we are fine. And obviously when they happen, they can hit us deeply. And I remember being criticized and trolled by someone when I was posting about, I think some INFJ event, I think years ago. And she went back to all my posts and she commented like promotion, like whatever. She thought she was doing community service. But it was a misunderstood intention, right? If this person would have came to me, I remember reaching out to her and just trying to have a conversation with this person. But she didn't have a profile picture. Like, okay, so internet trolls, don't try to have conversations with them. But I'm always so curious of what makes people behaviors or what makes people want to shut people down. And I think it comes down to like, they don't have the courage to be like that, and they also believe that they are doing community service here. Like, we want to stand for something, and they misproject something bad on you. The point is, like, when we are holding a bigger context, the small comments, the mishaps, the betrayals, the angry people, it becomes tiny compared to the lifetime of work that we are trying to build, compared to the people, the masses of people, whatever your way of seeing what you're building towards. The people we are helping, the people who are grateful for us, the people who are actually, thank you so much. You have helped me so much. Like, that what matters more. And when we gather evidence, and this is very important, like, to me, I have no worry about what I'm here to do and whether or not what I'm doing is helpful. Even on an INFJ scale, but on a bigger scale of me helping growing businesses online and showing up for clients and my work around expression, and right now this workshop I'm running this Wednesday, I have no question whether or not it's helpful because I have the evidence and the feedback that it is helpful, in fact. So when we have that feedback, it's easier to hold a bigger context and be like, you know what, it doesn't matter because I have X, Y, Z, X amount of example. This person is saying this was helpful. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you do. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, when I get people grateful for what I do, on all the chances of people saying, oh, nope, you are a completely terrible person. Like, how dare you showing up? It's a different thing, right? Like, I can disregard it because those people actually don't know me. They haven't spent time listening to me. They haven't came to my virtual hangouts. They haven't showed up for a video I created or an interview I ran, or the amount of hours I poured into this work as well. So they don't know. And are we going to really stop because people don't know us and they think they know better? Or are we going to focus on the people who are grateful and helpful or yet to be there, right? Like, many of us are, I think, beginners here, right? I know that for sure because whenever someone comes to join a group, I always ask more about you. And some of you guys are still in that beginning phases of your journey. But if you think about it, there are future people who are expecting you and waiting for you to show up. You're letting them down every day when you let yourself be fearing all of the potential hate and the trolls and all of that. Does that make sense? So you might not have the actual evidence yet, but you can think about the people who will be grateful that you did show up at the end and kept showing up nonetheless. So that's the message I have for you today. Don't worry about me. I'll survive this. I have different ways of thinking about how do we get this workshop. I know for sure I'm going to share it inside of our community. I'm going to send some emails to you guys and invite you. And just having this conversation with you this Wednesday, I'm excited to be talking to you again about this topic I'm very passionate about, visibility and being seen. I've been very visible myself in my own ways online for the past 7 years as I was building my business. So link below for this workshop /masterclass. Can't wait to see you there. So link in the description. Thanks so much for listening to this one. And don't forget, courage over fear, progress over perfection. As always, I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.